I'm 69 now. At this age, you stop telling stories to impress people. You tell them because they sit inside you for decades, and if you don't let them out, they start echoing too loudly. What I'm about to share happened almost 30 years ago, when I was 40. Old enough to think I understood life. Young enough to be completely wrong. She was 10 years younger than me, 30 when I was 40. And she was light. That's the first word that comes to mind. Light in the way she walked into a room and conversation shifted toward her without anyone noticing. Light in the way she laughed, loud, unapologetic, head thrown back. She had warm brown eyes and this habit of tucking her hair behind her ear when she was nervous. She loved music, and sometimes she would just start dancing in the kitchen while pasta boiled over on the stove. She wasn't just beautiful, she was alive, and next to her, I felt younger, less serious, less tired. We were together for 10 years. 10 years is not a fling. It's not infatuation. It's shared rent, shared groceries, shared Sunday mornings. It's knowing how the other person takes their coffee without asking. It's fighting over stupid things, dishes in the sink, being late, forgetting anniversaries, and still choosing each other at the end of the night. We fought hard sometimes. She was emotional, expressive, intense. I was steady, quiet. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't slam doors. I believed love meant patience, that if one of us was on fire, the other had to be water. I trusted her completely. I never checked her phone, never asked where she'd been in a suspicious tone. I thought jealousy was weakness. I thought calm meant maturity. Later, I would learn that calm can look like indifference to someone who craves sparks. Around our 8th year together, things started shifting. Nothing dramatic at first, just small absences. More nights out with friends, more stories about people I hadn't met. She started dressing differently, more daring, more attention-grabbing. I noticed, but I didn't question it. I told myself, this is what growth looks like. People change. One evening, she came home pale, quiet. She stood in the doorway of the kitchen while I was cutting vegetables and said, "I'm pregnant." Time stopped. At 40, you don't react the way you do at 20. It's not panic. It's weight. It's gravity. I felt my hands start shaking, not from fear, but from something deeper. A sense that life was offering me something sacred, something final. I looked at her and smiled like an idiot. I remember laughing softly and saying, "We're going to be parents." She didn't smile back. She started crying, not soft tears, not emotional overwhelm, full body sobbing, like someone had died. I held her. I told myself it was hormones, shock, fear of responsibility. She was 30, still young in many ways. I reassured her. I told her we would manage, that I would handle the finances, that we would move to a bigger apartment if we had to. I went with her to every appointment. I sat in sterile waiting rooms filled with nervous couples. I watched the ultrasound screen, searching for meaning in grainy black shapes. When the doctor mentioned the heartbeat, I felt something crack open inside me. I started imagining small shoes near the door, toys on the floor, teaching a child how to ride a bike. I even caught myself looking at cribs online late at night. She remained distant, polite, but distant. A month later, she told me the fetus had stopped developing. I remember the exact moment. I was standing in the hallway holding my car keys. She said it flatly. No tears this time, just a statement. The pregnancy stopped. I need a procedure. I felt like the floor tilted, but I didn't break down. I thought, now is not the time for my grief. She needs me steady. After the abortion, she withdrew further. The light in her dimmed, or maybe I just couldn't see it anymore. But something didn't add up. Her timeline was strange. The doctor she mentioned didn't exist in the clinic she named. Small details, inconsistencies. I tried to ignore them. I didn't want to be that man. Suspicious, paranoid. But something in my chest wouldn't quiet down. We weren't married yet. We had talked about it, even planned to register officially after the baby was born. Because of that, the hospitals wouldn't tell me anything. "You're not her husband," they said. Doors closed in my face. Still, I kept digging. I don't know what pushed me harder, intuition or fear. Maybe both. Eventually, through a mutual acquaintance who worked in healthcare, I found out the truth. The pregnancy had been healthy. There was no medical reason for termination. The abortion was elective. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She just sat there staring at the wall and whispered, "It wasn't yours." 10 years. 10 years condensed into one sentence. There had been someone else. Not a long-term affair. Not love, she said. Just excitement. He was different from me. Impulsive, flashy, confident in a loud way. Drove an expensive car. Took her to places I never thought to take her. Made her feel desired in a dramatic, overwhelming way. "With you," she said, "everything was safe, predictable." Safe, predictable. She had gotten pregnant. He panicked, told her clearly he didn't want a child, told her it would ruin everything. And then he stepped back. She decided to present the pregnancy as mine. Said she convinced herself it didn't matter, that I would be a better father anyway, that maybe it was fate. But when reality settled in, when she saw how happy I was, guilt crushed her, and fear. Fear of the truth exploding later, fear of being exposed. So she ended it. Not because she didn't want a child, because she couldn't face the consequences of her own choice. We separated quietly. No screaming, no broken plates. I packed a suitcase one night and left. 10 years reduced to 2 bags and a hollow chest. For months, I replayed everything. Every laugh, every fight, every time she looked at me with those warm eyes. I questioned myself. Was I too calm, too steady? Did my stability push her away? About a year later, she came back. I didn't expect it. She knocked on my door on a rainy evening. I remember the sound vividly. When I opened it, she looked different. Not older exactly, just softer, humbled. "I made the biggest mistake of my life," she said. No drama, no theatrics, just quiet honesty. She told me the other man had disappeared completely, that the excitement had always been shallow, that she had confused intensity with depth. She said she missed our mornings, our routines, my steadiness. She said she realized too late that peace is not boredom, it's security. I listened, and here is the part that still keeps me awake sometimes. I loved her, even then, but something inside me had closed, not slammed shut, just sealed quietly. I imagined taking her back, trying again. I imagined future arguments, future doubts. I imagined looking at her someday and wondering if she was bored again. I told her I couldn't. She cried, not dramatically, just tears sliding down her face in silence. She left, and that was the last time we stood that close to each other. Years passed. I built a career, I dated, I never remarried. Every relationship after that had a wall in it, invisible but solid. I never gave anyone the full version of me again. Recently, I heard from mutual acquaintances that she never had children. Complications after the abortion, they said. Regret followed her quietly. I don't feel triumph. I don't feel revenge. At 69, what hurts isn't the betrayal. It's the possibility. What if I had been braver? What if I had risked loving her again? What if we had rebuilt something wiser, stronger? Maybe we would have failed again. That's possible. But maybe we wouldn't have. Maybe there would have been a child. Maybe there would be grandchildren running through this quiet apartment now. Maybe the kitchen would still hold music. Life doesn't shatter you all at once. It gives you crossroads. And you choose based on who you are in that moment. Scared, proud, wounded. At 40, I thought I was protecting myself. At 69, I realized I was protecting my pride more than my heart. She was young, bright, imperfect, human. So was I. And sometimes the sharpest tragedy isn't betrayal, it's timing.